And a little context to all of this. This is a story I've thought about telling for probably about 3 years, just really talking about what means a lot to me, which is my own sexuality and how other people have perceived it over the last 20 years or so. And I wasn't going to tell it tonight, but really to put into perspective, I went to my high school today. I had a meeting there, and I hadn't been there in about 20 years. So it kind of really brought things back to me in a different way of not being somewhere for 20 years where this same interaction happened. Someone I had went to elementary school with, we're very small. I'm from Airville, very small elementary school. Someone I went from elementary school with to high school. I got the superlative best citizen. I was really proud of that, and I still think I'm a pretty good citizen. But because this person wanted it, he decided to say, well, I was a faggot. I don't know why. I have no clue. We were children, very much still. But things like that have persisted until this day. And I've thought a lot about the boxes that society puts us in ever since then. And I lived in Airville. I lived around farms. I grew up working on farms. I grew up hunting deer. I grew up doing things that are so masculine that they say are masculine. And the first time I ever thought about boxes was when I had been doing chorus since 4th grade. And when you get to junior high, it's a whole different level of auditioning and all of that. And I got into chorus because I'm an amazing singer. We all know this here. Phenomenal. I got into chorus, and when you get to junior high, they have show choir. And that's a whole other level of, you do the dancing too. And it's just something that is so, it's another level. It's something that's like celebrity for people who like the arts and all of that. And I told my mom that I wanted to audition for show choir for my 8th grade year. And she said that, well, if you're going to do that, then you are going to, you're going to go out for the football team your freshman year of high school. I'd done sports my whole life because my parents forced me into doing sports. I'm not a sports person. I was left field my whole life. I did football, I did basketball, I did everything. I wasn't a sports person, but I was pretty good at the arts. And the first time I thought, well, why does she want me to do football next year if I get show choir the next year? And I know it's because she wanted to stabilize my masculinity to the public of where I went, which was Red Lion School District. And I love Red Lion, but that was the first time I ever thought about that. And it really was something that I knew that arts kids were different than everyone else through junior high up to high school. But it wasn't until my senior year that someone who I had known for so long, who I had been a 10-year-old with, all the way up to 18-year-old, decided to call me a faggot. I just didn't get it. I do the exact same things you do, and maybe my voice sounds a little bit different than you, and maybe I do different things than you when it comes to singing and dancing and all of that, but I just didn't understand it. I still don't really understand it to this day, but I will say that over the last 20 years now, since I've been out of high school, my perception went really negative for a while about how people perceive me and what people say about me because of what my personal interests are. I've worked places where I'm holding a hammer and someone says, huh, you don't look like you know how to use that thing. Why do you say that? It's because sometimes I stand like that. Is it because of the way that I talk? Like all of these things that like people, these microaggressions of what people believe in masculinity and femininity and what they mean to people, that is so hurtful, used to be so hurtful. But I'm grateful I've had the experiences I've had. I got to be the executive director of Resource York. That's a fucking hardware store. If someone says to me, oh, well, you don't know, you look like you know how to do that, or you don't really come off as masculine. I ran a fucking hardware store. How more masculine can you be? I have a deer mount that I shot myself in my home. You can't tell me that I haven't participated in the masculine things that society says that masculine men are supposed to do. And honestly, I've been so far past that in these last couple years that I'm so grateful that I don't have to feel hurt when someone brings up something like that before. But in the last 2 weeks, I was talking to a girl who is involved with someone else. And after I left, he told that girl, like, he's a fucking faggot. It's why is that important at all? Like, that's none of your business, first of all. But I just don't get why people care so much about all of these things. And the most grateful thing I've had, and I've talked about probably about 3 times now, is that I've gotten to do this cabaret in August. And I got to sing in dresses. I got to sing in falsetto in dresses. And I feel the most secure about my sexuality and myself more than ever. My own stepfather, who my mother, the same person, told me I had to join football team if I joined show choir. My stepfather was my chauffeur, and he dropped me off, and he opened my door in my fur coat and my full dress and my pearl necklace. And he accepted that, and I love him for that. And I love my mom accepting that and everything like that. So I'm just grateful that I'm surrounded by the people now who appreciate that.